What is going on, everyone? Spencer Peterson here, head of CDL Player Relations, and we're running it back, community update number 3, and you know I have the man with me, the GM of Call of Duty Esports, Daniel Tsay. Daniel, man, what's going on?
Hey, Spencer. I'm doing well. It's good to see you. I'm excited to be here and still in disbelief over that incredible underdog run by LA Guerrillas in Major 2, but I'm feeling good, man.
The run actually completely insane. The super sub spark coming in with LAG. I don't know if we'll ever see a run like that ever again.
I think you're right. Certainly not for a while. That's to be sure. That was a special one. But here we are in our mid-season. So, Spencer, I thought what might be good is for today's update, let's just kind of dive into what people should expect during this mid-season break.
Yeah, I mean, you said mid-season. The biggest thing to touch on there is we have a break. You know, what's going on with that? We've never had that before.
That's fair. Why do we have a mid-season break? I think there's probably 2 reasons that I would point to. The one is obviously providing a break to the players and staff and everyone that needs some time off to make this, league great. And the second reason is provide an opportunity for us to launch these cool new products, which we'll talk about later in this update. But, on the first point, I still remember talking to a couple players at the end of last season where, I realized that the 1 week of bye, maybe 2 weeks of bye of that previous schedule really wasn't enough to get away from the practice schedule and really decompress in this season. So we wanted to make a very concerted effort to providing leeway to take vacation and chill out a little bit during the season. And then, like I mentioned before, we're not going completely dark. We have these 2 new products that we're launching during this break that we're super excited about and really believe a lot in.
Listen, I know talking to our pros, they are loving the midseason. They're kicking back right now, enjoying some vacation time. But, what's coming up first during the midseason break?
So for our first event, and you may have seen us announce this last month, actually, we're launching the Call of Duty League Resurgence Rebirth Island circuit. It's super exciting because for the first time, it's a chance for our community to play against our CDL team brands in this really, really popular Warzone game mode. And I would say, like other CDL Warzone integrations we've done in the past, we're going to continue experimenting, and we're excited about the learnings we're going to have from this one in this pilot program.
I mean, listen, Resurgence is mixy. It's fast-paced. Our players love to play it. Our fans are going to love to watch it. Can our players expect, standard rebirth? Are there any rules, any sort of restrictions, or just kind of standard across the board?
Yeah, good question. For this Warzone event, we're not going to have any special restrictions. We want this to be as accessible as possible to the broader COD audience. So no special restrictions. It'll just be played out as the game is. We just completed the open playlist in stage 1, right? Only those teams that actually make it to the 3rd and final main stage on April 24th will need to be streaming on YouTube. That's only 20 teams. So if you are one of those lucky 20 teams that make it to that 3rd and final stage, our team's gonna be working with you whole step of the way, figuring out what your individual situation is to make sure you can participate within the eligibility requirements.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. I think it will ease a lot of our community concerns, but what else can we expect for the event?
Peak competition, right? These teams are going to be battling out for a $100,000 prize pool. So I'm sure the gameplay will be fierce and exciting. And we're going to be broadcasting our semis and our finals on our CDL YouTube channel. So be sure to tune in. Let us know what you think about this format, this mode. We're all ears for feedback.
I mean, I really can't wait. It's really hard to tell who's even going to win this thing. Will it be CDL pros? Will it be streamers? Will it be a mixture of the 2? Will it be some completely random community members that just come in and shock the Rebirth world? I mean, I guess we're just going to have to see later this month. But that's it for CDLR. I mean, Daniel, what's coming on after that?
Yeah, so next on our docket is the Pro-Am Classic. We're super excited about that. It's going to be the first time we ever mix our CDL Pro teams with top amateur teams in the scene. And so before we get on, I do have to give a huge congratulations to our top 4 Challenger teams that won their space at the Major 2 Challenger Open.
Yeah, listen, that's an absolutely typical performance out of all those teams at the Major. 100%, Daniel. Give a few claps for those guys. And actually, we have the first look at where those Challengers teams are going to fall in groups for the Pro-Am Classic. Let's take a look at that. Man, those groups look spicy. The energy was off the charts in Minnesota. I expect it to be the same during the Pro-Am. But Daniel, what can we expect the event to look like?
Now, this is going to be a different event from our majors. And just to be transparent with you all, our original venue plans actually had to change. And so we've been working with our partners at Esports Engine to find a new solution. And we're excited to announce that we'll be at Belong Polaris in Columbus, Ohio to host the Pro-Am Classic. And that's going to allow all 16 of our teams to play on land, which we all know is the best competitive experience. With our change to Belong Polaris, it's a slightly smaller venue, so unfortunately, we aren't going to be able to have fans in attendance. The Pro-Am Classic started off as this really cool throwback to the old competitive COD days, right? More open ecosystem. I think with how this event has morphed, we're incredibly excited about this new intimate atmosphere that's going to be unlocked, because that's something that we haven't had in a long time. You know, COD Legends in an intimate atmosphere with multiple matches happening in the same room. You know, Legends like Scump or Crim 6 competing within earshot of each other. That's an atmosphere that hasn't been replicated in a while. So we're excited to lean into that. I think it's going to be a unique sight to see. And I think above all, the thing we're most excited about is, of course, our challenger teams playing against our CDL teams. Very interested to see if those challenger players can rise up to that challenge.
Yeah, Daniel, you're totally right. I really want to see how those challenger teams do against those CDL teams. But I mean, that event is going to be super exciting. But moving on, I did see you tweet out that All-Stars is going to be pushed back a little bit. What's the bigger update there?
Yeah, we are pushing it back, and that's primarily for us to have proper time to give the All-Star program a good rethink, right? For us, the All-Stars program is number one objective is to make our players feel valued as an All-Star. It should feel special. And so as we were reflecting on last year's program, we thought it's probably better to take the whole season's body of work for a player before we vote on All-Stars versus just, one half of the season. So we thought that made a lot of sense and why we'd push it back. And then, other things that we're thinking about, last year we had 16 All-Stars. That's about a third of the league. I think that number is probably a little bit too high. Probably looking to lower the amount of people that are in All-Stars this year. So as you can see, still some different details that we're firming up, still some different ideas that we're thinking about, but overall just want the program to feel a little bit more special for our players. And we're going to be able to achieve that objective by pushing it towards the end of the season.
Now, Daniel, I think all that makes a lot of sense, right? But not only that, it allows our newly signed CDL players like Spart and Paul X even bigger of a chance to continue building that all-star portfolio that really gives them a great chance of becoming an all-star at the end of the season. Daniel, it's about time we get on out of here. Any last words before we, end this one?
Yeah, Spencer, I'd just like to share that for our next community update, we want to hear directly from our community. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to post on our CDL Twitter account soliciting questions from this community, different things that you might want to know about. And Spencer and I will go through all the different responses. We'll find the best ones and we'll answer them, right? So really a challenge to you all to participate, to ask us questions that are appropriate, and we'll do our best in answering them all directly. But aside from that, just want to thank everyone for a great 2022 season thus far. We're excited of where we're at here in the mid-season. We're excited for the products that we'll be launching very soon, and I hope you all tune into that. But other than that, we'll see you around Major 3 and answer those questions. I'll see you later.